I wanted to be mad at Carson Beck, but in regulation, he did his job. Honestly, this was a game that tells the whole story of Mario Cristobal's Miami. Strong, physical, built to win, but not built to finish. The plan makes sense in the film room, but it falls apart when execution doesn't follow intent. You can design it right all week, but on Saturday, execution decides whether the theory lives or dies. A drop pass turns into an interception, 12 penalties for 96 yards, drive-killing mistakes that erase flashes of dominance. I want to be mad at Carson Beck, but truth is I can't. If not for the drops by JoJo Trader and Elijah Lofton, he's sitting at over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions in regulation. The numbers would tell a completely different story. Miami ran the ball okay, protected Beck, and held SMU to 0 rushing yards till overtime. Controlled the pace, but couldn't cash in. Field goals instead of touchdowns, bad timing on 4th and shorts, and 0 rhythm when it mattered most. Then the discipline talk evaporated again. On 4th and 9, SMU stopped cold, until an unnecessary roughness penalty gave them new life. That's been Miami's story all season. Preach discipline, but play chaotic. In college football, every possession is worth more than ever with the clock rushes shortening games. And Miami keeps wasting them. Talent doesn't matter when the other team plays mistake-free football, while you're struggling to execute. SMU just executed. Period. Cristobal's philosophy isn't broken. It's just unfinished. 4 years in, and it still feels like we're building the foundation while everyone else is cashing in.
What's the takeaway? Because a lot of the symptoms are the same as some other things we've seen.
Record in November, 4-11. I'm going to say the takeaway is Cristobal can't get it done. He's not the answer.
Wow.
That defense quit in overtime.
Yes.
Really?
SMU had -2 rushing yards in regulation, but when it came to overtime, when it mattered, their first rush was 5 yards. They followed it up by another 5 rushes for 25 yards. So they had 6 rushes for 25 yards and a touchdown after they stopped Miami. When SMU needed to win, they relied on a run game that wasn't there, and they found a way to win. And, BJ, you and I were talking, watching Miami. When they missed and didn't get those points there at the end, they quit. They settled down and quit. They were not trying to get the ball out. And that, to me, is as big of an indictment as the results of the game.
The critics, the mavens, they're abundant. Unfortunately, after Saturday's loss to SMU, they have a lot of material to work with. But let's cut through all the drama, all the BS, the horrific calls by officials, which there were several, the failure to put games away, the failure to seize the moment when the moment is right there in front of you, like it was Saturday in Dallas in overtime, when Marty Brown had a hole so big that Matt Shodell or Greg even could have run through it. Take a look. Just take a look at this hole. I could see Matt getting through there. I think Greg could get through there. Everything 305. The Mikester Kane, Rocky, Jake, T-Dog, Uki, Kane, Sebastian. But Marty Brown didn't get through it. And Miami then on the next play, Carson Beck threw horrible interception. And now you have lost again. We've seen this movie so many times through the years, decades, more than decades. We keep having the same conversation every single season. The bottom line is the Miami Hurricanes are losing games by the thinnest of margins, by not the thinnest of reasons. The list of reasons is massive. They just keep piling on top of each other, game after game. And the problem, it's not JoJo Trader dropping a pass that gets intercepted, or the offense failing twice in the fourth quarter to put the game away. You know what the problem is? It's that the Miami Hurricanes keep playing games that are decided by the thinnest of margins. Haven't we seen it before? We know this result. We've been talking about it for years. It's same plus same equals same. Remember that? The formula that we came up with when Al Golden was the head coach? Well, was it any different when Mark Richt was here? Was it any different when Manny Diaz was here? Has it been any different with Mario as the head coach? Same plus same equals same. When you are life and death to win every single game, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. It's that simple. It's no different than getting in 11 third down situations over the course of a game. I believe that was the number on Saturday. If you convert 6 of them, it's about 50%. You're going to make 1 third down. You're going to miss 1 third down. Then you're going to have to punt. Then you're going to have to decide to go for it on 4th down. You're going to make 1. You're going to miss 1. You go through a football game like this, and you get the Miami Hurricanes. They get to the end of the football game, and they don't have enough points to win. And now they have lost again for the 5th time in their last 12 games. So tonight, as we begin a new edition of CaneSport Live, we are tasked with the challenge of figuring out why this is happening over and over and over again with a program that, despite what any of the critics out there are saying, and there's a lot of them, like I said, this program is being run better than it's been run in a very long time. The foundation is better than it's been in a very long time. Even the roster, I fully still believe that the roster is better than it's been in a very long time. So this is not a simple challenge figuring out why this is happening. And so many things happened along the way toward that loss Saturday at SMU. Obviously, there's a lot of finger pointing going on at Mario Cristobal and Shannon Dawson. But let's start with Dawson, okay? How does he look today if any of the following 3 things happen differently in that game on Saturday? Number 1, JoJo Trader doesn't drop a perfect pass down the field that ends up getting intercepted. SMU, Rhett Lashley, a play in his back pocket. Very key here. We're seeing very high-quality play callers with plays in their back pocket for the right moments that are using them to beat Miami. Scores a touchdown on the very next play, and now a 7-0 football game becomes 7-7. What if JoJo just catches the damn football, man? He had a great first quarter. He had like 84 yards receiving in the first quarter. I mean, he catches that ball. He's on his way to a 150, 200-yard game. And, all the cries about where's JoJo, what's up with JoJo, they're all gone. I mean, JoJo was doing great up there in Dallas on Saturday. Catch the damn football, JoJo. I mean, he's got good hands. This is a kid that catches balls one-handed habitually on the practice field and when he's in drills. I mean, he has good hands. Why did he drop that football? Number 2, Elijah Lofton. I've been beating the drum as loud as anybody on this kid. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes, how good of a football player Elijah Lofton is. Why is this season going so badly for him? Why is he running a wrong route in the Louisville game at a critical moment? Why is he dropping a touchdown pass on Saturday in Dallas? How do you explain that? But think about it. If he catches that ball, we're thinking a lot differently about Shannon Dawson today. If JoJo catches his ball, might be thinking a lot different about Shannon Dawson today. And then you get to overtime after all of the sins, the Lightfoot penalty, which, man, I don't know if you guys watched it in that video I played at the beginning of the show. What a ticky-tack call that was by that official in that moment. I mean, yes, he can't touch the quarterback, but he pulled up. He actually held the quarterback up. There was no intent to hurt the quarterback. But listen, it happened. You had the bad call, whatever. After all of this stuff happens, you're in overtime with a chance to win the game, and you're running, and then you have a play that you block as perfectly as a play can be blocked. Okay? I mean, look at this thing. You got 3 guys taking out 2 on the outside. You got Maui Noah taking out that tackle. And Marty Brown is staring at this hole to the outside, and there's no defender out there. I mean, this is a walk-in touchdown. And for whatever reason, he cut inside and comes up short. And, how differently are we thinking about Shannon Dawson if that play gets executed the way that it was supposed to be executed? So the question I have is, why are Miami players failing over and over and over again? You got Maui Noah, who everybody says is going to be a top 10 pick in the draft, gets 2 holding calls in the game on Saturday. I mean, unbelievable. All the false start penalties every week for the last 4 weeks. We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. There's the suggestion that the defense is mimicking the cadences of the offense and throwing off the linemen. Got to be more disciplined. We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. Now we're working on it again this week. But how much more is there to work on? Like you identified this a month ago. Why is this happening? I mean, it's inexplicable. I mean, I can't think, how do you keep reinventing things to work on week after week after week when the problem doesn't go away? Why are Miami players failing over and over again? That's one of our big questions to discuss tonight on the show. The defense quit. You heard it. People are saying the defense quit. It looked like they quit. I mean, we could be all appalled. Oh my God, how do you say our defense quit? Our defense has been great, playing pretty well all season. It looked like they gave up in the overtime. I mean, SMU went right through them running the football. I think SMU had 0 yards rushing in regulation and then had, 25 yards rushing in overtime. Unbelievable. All of a sudden they could run the football. I mean, that makes it look like the defense quit. We didn't see anybody trying to strip the ball. And then on the scoring play, it was just like they let them walk in. I mean, so, that's disappointing, obviously. That's the first time we've ever seen anything like that. These kids play. One thing you could say, win or lose, these kids have played very hard from start to finish the entire season. Are they just mentally exhausted? Okay, did the toll of what happened along the way in this game, was that the final straw? You hope not, because they got to bounce back now for 4 football games. And, all the failed offensive possessions, has Miami gotten too station to station, I ask? I was thinking it during the game. We're station to station every step of the way. There's a void of big plays, and one penalty, one mistake, one missed block can turn offensive possessions empty in that situation so that you get to the end of the game and you don't have enough points. Okay. I think the offense is somewhere like 50th in the country right now. Matt will be able to tell you, he's the stats guy here, but that's not good enough, man. Like you have a lot of players on this team, a lot of weapons, and it's easy to blame the coaches. It's easy to want to run every coach out of town. Shannon Dawson is not having a great season, but it's way more complex than that. I mean, to me, I want to know why all these players are not executing. Why there's so many mistakes, and I see a lot of stress, a lot of tension. David Blay, the starting defensive tackle, jumps off sides early in the game the other day. Literally jumps up and is running off the football field. He's taking himself out of the game because he jumped off sides. Just a lot of it all doesn't look right. There's something off in this whole thing, and we're going to try real hard to get to the bottom of some of it through some really good discussion tonight on CaneSport Live. So hello again, everybody. I'm Gary Ferman, the publisher of CaneSport.com. We welcome you once again to the People's Show, CaneSport Live. As usual, this is your show, and it's going to be driven by your participation. As usual, many of our guests have pre-registered with us to be on the show. If you have not and you want to come on, you see the email address at the bottom of the screen. Email us, canesport@yahoo.com. We will send you the information that'll get you into the studio so that you can join the party here. As always, our managing editor at CaneSport, Matt Shodell, will be joining me for the first hour of the show. Then I'll be joined by the voice of the fan, Bruce Warner. So let's get things started with a dose of what I think everybody can use right now, and that's the wit and wisdom of Matt Shodell himself. And Matt, welcome back to the show. There is no doubt in my mind that if you were out on that football field on Saturday in overtime, you would have seen that hole. You would have made your way through it. You would have scored. The Canes might have had a whole different outcome.
You want to know what that game did to me? Shield your eyes, people. I'm going to show you what the game did to me. Get ready. This is what that's what they did to me.
What the hell?
Miami Hurricanes made me have a Holter monitor for heart problems after that freaking game. No joke. 24-hour Holter monitor. I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue.
That's the first I'm hearing of that.
I'm going to sue Shannon Dawson for whatever my medical bills are because of this freaking team. Anyway.
I'm glad you're still with us.
For now, I'm with you. And I don't know if I'll last longer or him. I mean, I don't know how long I have left. After having to wear this Holter monitor. I'll find out tomorrow, I guess. I don't know how much longer Shannon Dawson has as a coordinator. But Miami's 18th in the initial CFP poll. The hope I had was they'd be a little higher. It's going to be a tough road, even if they win out, because there's 3 ACC teams ahead of them. So we need 2 of those teams to lose at least one game. Georgia Tech plays Georgia, so I think they'll lose another game. But then Louisville has a fairly easy road. Virginia has a really easy road. So that's not great. I don't think they're taking 3 ACC teams. And then Notre Dame, the hope was maybe Miami would be close with Notre Dame, who doesn't really play anyone. They play Pittsburgh. That's all they play left. That's a good team. And, Miami has the head-to-head with Notre Dame, but Notre Dame's 8 spots ahead of Miami. Unless Notre Dame loses to Pittsburgh, the way I'll have a story later tonight, but the way that the math works out, there's really 2 open spots, right? Because a group of 5 is going to get an automatic bid. 4 conference champions get an automatic bid. That's 5. And then we add up all these other undefeated 1-loss teams that aren't going to fall behind Miami, even with another loss. They have to lose 2 more games, right? Think about the Oregons of the world and that sort of thing. That just makes it tough sledding. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 of them will lose 2 games, but as of now, I'm counting 2 open spots. If what seems obvious to happen becomes fairly obvious. And if one of them goes, and that's not one of them, I don't have one of those with Notre Dame. So if Notre Dame gets one of those spots, there's only 1 spot left. And, so you need like Louisville to lose, probably Virginia to lose. Maybe Virginia has to lose twice. I don't know if they lose in an AC title game. Will they reward them for having lost in the AC title game as their second loss, hypothetically, while Miami has 2 losses in the regular season? I don't know, but it's not great. And then there's every other conference has teams who are looking to get in there. And, I'm not counting, by the way, Texas. Texas probably is in trouble. They have a really tough road ahead of them. And a couple other SEC teams have tough roads. So I'm not really counting those, but I'll show you guys all the math later on in the story, but it's not a great spot. Being 18th is probably means even if they run the table, they're probably going to wind up a spot or 2 out of the playoffs again. And that's what everyone's posting all over Twitter. I'm reading about it from these national sources like Miami's out of it because of the 18th ranking. I mean, crazy things happen. Miami doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs anyway, but, we'll have to wait. There is still a chance. There's still a path forward for sure. Just some teams have to lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to, which happens every week.
Just win, man.
And Miami has to win out, why would Miami win out and everyone else is going to lose? The way Miami's playing, are they going to beat NC State and Pittsburgh? Not the way they're playing, right? They're going to lose one of those. So,
well, hopefully they find it back. I mean, it's not like they don't have the talent to be playing much better. They do.
Yeah. And somebody says Pitt needs to beat Notre Dame and Georgia Tech. The problem with that is now you have Pittsburgh and Virginia, and do they take 3 ACC teams? Probably not. That's not what the CFP is going to do. You need something else to happen. I don't know. It's not going to be easy. Certain things have to happen the exact way they need to happen, and we'll see. But I'll write about it later.
All right. Well, Cuban Kane, he wants to take out his anger on me. Let's see what new lies Gary is going to tell us about how elite of a recruiter Mario is. Mr. Cuban Kane, I have a question for you. Do you really think that right now that recruiting is the biggest issue in this program? Like, you don't think that there's good players? I would say the issue more likely is the performance of those good players. And And obviously, there's some coaching issues that are popping up from time to time. It's no one thing. I mean, there's way too much going on here for it to be one thing. I mean, you can like take shots at me. It's all cool, but like, I don't know why you would bring up recruiting. I mean, recruiting is not even probably in the top 10 of issues right now that this program's dealing with. Matt, would you agree with that?
My whole thing is Mario's a great recruiter. I think he's a fine talent evaluator. His issues is if he gets involved with coordinators or game day management, stuff like that. He needs to sort of, I don't want to use the word figurehead, but just do what he's great at and then let other people do what they're great at without any interference. And they need to pay coordinators. Clearly, they need to pay coordinators. I'm not, Corey Heatherman's been fine, but, you need a top offensive coordinator. It's pretty clear at this point. And they got to pay the money for that. Like, there's no point paying tons of recruits and paying tons of transfer portal guys when you're not paying a top offensive coordinator. It doesn't make sense to me. This is why other programs pay $1 million or more for a coordinator, because you need it. You have to have it, and fans see it. If it costs you even one game a year having a bad coordinator, that is enough to keep you out of the playoffs. You need to have almost a one-loss season. As you can see with Miami having 2 losses, they're on the outside looking in right now.
Shannon Dawson is really good at the beginning of games. His game planning during the week is excellent. Miami usually comes out looking pretty good at the beginning of games on offense, and then for whatever reason it gets a little uneven. Other teams adjust. Miami doesn't do a good enough job of adjusting. You start having players making a lot of mistakes, and that's how you get where you are. But one guy I think that can help us solve this a little bit is, this guy over here who thinks it's still Halloween. He's calling himself T-Dog. Okay, good. You put your mic. What the hell is going on here? What?
I'm in the sewer. I'm in the sewer, just like our offense, man.
Oh, you're in the sewer. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Wow. That was
Oh
special.
my gosh.
Nice
Man.
math, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Hey, look. Maybe we should have spent the bye week coming up with our second year of our offense, of our identity, instead of recruiting. Yes, we landed some recruits, but what was the opportunity cost of landing those recruits? Right? We went into these last 2 games that we lost, and we just don't even look like the same team from the beginning of the season.
Not even close. Yeah.
Not even close.
No.
So I think if you're going to continue with this same regime, as far as the OC is concerned, you got to have 2 years worth of a identity. The first half of the season and then the second half, because we have seen the same shit over and over, Gary and Matt. The same shit. We start off
Same plus same equals same,
red
man.
hot, and then we just start sputtering, man. And a microcosm of that is in our damn games. We start off sometimes red hot, and then we just start sputtering. It's literally the same shit within the game and within the seasons. I don't get it. And I'm so glad to hear both of you. Matt, you've been more on this train more than Gary, but Gary, you're finally on the train with us about the talent. Miami has not had a talent issue for years, man. Not in this. I
wouldn't say that, but this year they did.
Gary, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, I'll disagree with you. It's all right. We can disagree. I think this year they've done a very good job of talent acquisition.
I'm telling you, yes, they didn't have the talent to go win a national championship for years. I admit that. But they had more talent than the teams they've been losing to in this conference for the last 4 years.
His point is they've been favored every year. They lose double digit favorites, Gary. His point is the odds reflect the talent, right? I mean, the odds makers are making Miami a favorite every single game for the last 2 years because they're more talented than the team they're against. But somehow they lose 2 games they're supposed to win. That's
Correct.
Sort of what he's saying,
bro. And as the games are playing, you're looking at the talent on the field, and you're like, okay, why is this even a game? Right? Like, why is this even this damn dude? The damn SMU quarterback was on one leg.
Right. They keep screwing up, man. They keep making mistakes. The defense is just making a lot less of them than the offense, but they're screwing up.
I mean, I asked Carson Beck today about I said to him, what are some of the issues on offense? He said the offense is doing great. I'm like, the offense is doing great. He doesn't seem to count. He doesn't count mistakes.
If you eliminate the mistakes, they're doing great.
Right, but I had to ask him a follow-up, like, well, can you talk about the penalties and the drop passes, and are they easy to fix? Like, this is the problem, right? Shannon Dawson thinks the offense is fine because you just fix the mental mistakes and, we'll score 30 points, we'll have 450 yards. But they are making the mistakes every single week, and that's part of your offense. It's baked into your offense that you are a mistake-ridden offense, and that's on you as a coach and you as a quarterback throwing interceptions with 8 interceptions. Maybe 1 or 2 aren't his fault, but I mean, that's too many interceptions, right? And they don't take ownership of that. All they say is, we're running the ball well, we're being efficient in the pass game. I mean, I asked Keelan Marion today. I said, Keelan, you have amazing speed. You're a downfield threat. You look at the Pro Football Focus numbers, it doesn't seem like the team's pushing the ball down the field that much. Do you feel that way or whatever? I said something like that. I mean, you can watch the video. They posted it. And he's like, we just, we have to take what the defense gives us. Like, it's so built into their minds that they just have to check the ball down and take short gains and play the horizontal game instead of the vertical game. I don't know if they're just saying it to say it, but at some point, I wish somebody on this team would step up and be like, what we're doing isn't working. We need to change something. Because a player, God forbid a player says something that is true when a coach doesn't approve it. God forbid. In the old days, the players would say whatever the hell they wanted to. And you know what? It made them better. And the one honest thing that the player said today came from Keontae Scott. And what he said is that he listened to the outside noise last year and it made him better. And he didn't even realize he said it. Okay? Because everything Miami says is we don't listen to the outside noise. Our players don't listen to the outside noise. And I asked him, I said, what do you attribute this? You really redefined yourself as a player. You had a rough year last year. Why do you think that happened? He says, all that outside noise I was hearing last year, everyone telling me how bad I was, I used that to make myself great. And I still have that in my mind every time I'm on the field. That's what drives me. And so why can't coaches say that? Why does it say, when people are being bad to you or mean to you or whatever, like, why can't you say it out loud? Why are they so scared? I wish this team would stop being scared. They're scared to throw down the field. They're scared to make a mistake.
Don't get all stressed, Matt. You got that heart monitor, man.
They're scared to do everything. That's not Miami Hurricanes. When Mario wants to build a culture, he's building a culture of being scared to say the wrong thing, being scared to attack other teams, being scared to win by 80 points.
Your heart monitor is going to explode.
I'm sick of it. All
right, listen. I don't disagree with you, but like, they did throw the ball down the field. JoJo dropped it. It bounced up in the air, and the guy intercepted it. And
you know what I mean? 20. I know what SMU you mean. Has the worst.
Everything is going wrong. Listen. Everybody's
don't cut him off, Gary. It's hard, man.
SMU has the worst pass defense in the country. SMU has the worst pass defense in the country. Don't tell me they threw downfield. Not when you're going to make stuff up. They didn't throw down the field.
All right. But my point is, they tried to, and JoJo screwed up. Okay, then SMU scored on the next play. But everybody's got a theory. Billy DeLuhu wants to point at Alex Mirabal and the offensive line, which everybody thinks
overrated
is
as hell.
Well, T-Dog says overrated as hell, but a lot of people say elite. Okay, I'm gonna show you
elite. Damn, I don't even think it's good. Talking about elite. What do you mean elite?
Brian Taylor. He says that the offense has no innovation and it's predictable. Ian Killian, Mirabal, echoing the other thought, is as much to blame as Dawson.
He doesn't get enough fire at all underneath his seat, man. Like, what's up with that? Like, we've been told he's the greatest offensive line coach in the world. Okay, well, why is it the same penalties game after game after game? Same damn penalties.
It's inexplicable. I mean, I can't believe what I'm watching.
And you got a guy getting ready to go top 10, they say, and he's making like some of the worst penalties at the worst time. Like, what the F, man? Like, what? Elite? Ninja, please. Are you kidding me? That's not damn elite. That's not even good. Not when it's costing you games. And you're not elite if you can only do one thing. And the only thing they can do is pass protect. They can't even pick up a freaking first down, bro. Me and my wife are watching the game. She's literally like, "I know
why, T-Dog? We all see everything going wrong. Why is it going wrong? Why? They have good players."
I think stubbornness has a lot to do with this. Honestly, I honestly think Mario is like, look, you see him doing the pound thing. Like, we're going to get this thing no matter what. I don't care if we failed 3 or 4 times before. The 4th time, I guess the laws of physics, the 4th time it's got to work. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, why? You don't have to. You have options. You have talent. You can go 4 wide. Hell, if you want to run so much, run out of a different formation. Like, try that. Let's see what that does.
I think Derek Jenkins is onto something. Okay, I'm going to put his comment up here on the screen. Mental fatigue. Okay,
Yeah, but I think this
like
time of the year,
these guys
everyone
work.
is
They work
fatigued.
so hard, T-Dog.
Bro.
Coaches, players, everybody. They work so hard, and when you're not getting results, you can have a lot of mental fatigue.
But I don't the mental, but that's the symptom, right? But what came first? What came first was we're not doing anything creative. We're doing the same old same and expecting that beating our chest and showing you our manhood. We're bigger than you. We're gonna just run it down your throats. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. And when it's not working, adjust. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying to spread it open all the time, pause, and just do it that way. Okay. I want flexibility. I want options. That's all I'm saying. Like any good team does. Any good team adjusts. And they're optional. They have multiple ways of beating you. In the beginning of the season, they were saying, "Oh, how do you want Miami to beat you? You want them to beat you running the ball, passing the ball." Like we had all this variety, but then when it's time to pick up crucial first downs or in situations, we get tight like lemon booty. Lemon booty. I don't know if y'all ever heard that term before, right? People in the hood know what that means. You get lemon booty, you get tight, right? And then you just go into this shell and you're like, bro, like, why are you so nervous? Like, go do you. Mix it up. Show some creativity. I saw a clip on social media. I'm not saying I have to go to this extreme, where Lane Kiffin is running freaking reverses on 4th and 1. Like, what happens if you do that sometimes? Now the other team has to account for that.
Yeah,
We're not making them account for anything.
I would like to see them have more fun.
Just open it up, bro.
Get back to the joy of the game.
Yeah,
they're playing like they're stressed out, like their coach.
They're playing like they're stressed out.
Lemon booty.
And you can see. I mean, honestly, because they call it mental fatigue, but I call it frustration and stress. Because
she's like, "What the hell are you hollering at lemon booty?"
I mean, you watch Carson Beck, and he was obviously frustrated. I mean, you could see every time you looked at him during the game. I mean, it's just frustration. And now is it frustration with they know that the play calls are not exciting? You know, players want to be excited going into a game. They don't want to know they're running up the middle 50% of the time and they're throwing check downs 30% of the time and they're not attacking down the field because they want to play complementary offense for the defense and this and that and the other thing. You know, at some point, you know, Miami has to understand, like, they're not taking into account what players want to do, what players like to do, what players enjoy doing.
Agreed.
And if you have any job, and believe me, for these players, believe it or not, it's a job. They don't, you know, I'll never forget Tariq Stevenson telling me if he could quit, he would tomorrow, but he's doing it for his family. He's in pain every day, you know, and he's a great player, great NFL player too now.
Yeah.
But it's a job for these players, right? And at any job, if you're not enjoying your job, if there's nothing fun at work, if you're just sitting in front of a computer all day with your boss looking over your shoulder, making sure you make no mistakes, and if you make a mistake, you're kicked out of the room, benched, right? Go to the sideline, whatever. How are you going to play? How are you going to do your job really well? It's I know Gary's covering my face with this, thank God, but you know, but that to me, that's his bigger problem with anything. You got to make it fun for the guys and have a better game plan that makes guys excited. That's what makes it fun.
Think about when you go to these games in South Florida, these high school games, you hear all these sound effects when they catch a bomb. There's no excitement with this team. Like, get these guys amped up, bro. Make like that alone. And
fans don't enjoy watching this. Fans don't want to see this offense.
Correct. That alone will drive these kids in these games like SMU or Stanford, where you're like, oh, they're not going to be up for this game. They'll be up for it if you're like, hey, guys in the locker room, hey, let's go put up 60 on these guys. You know what I mean? Like, give them motivation. You got to. These are young minds. Yes, they're getting paid like adults, but they're still damn kids. I don't care what anybody says. And Matt, you worked in education before, so you know sometimes you just got to play mind games with them. You just got to give them incentives, right?
I don't think we call it mind games. Their philosophy is to win every game by 1 point. They're happy with a 1 point win every single week, and that's their philosophy. It's not let's go out and blow them out. It's let's figure out how we can have an advantage and hopefully win in the end. You know, it's not. They're not. The killer instinct's not there for the coaching staff. And I really want to start seeing that. Like, find the weakness, exploit it, and then just keep exploiting it. And, you know, SMU's weakness wasn't its run defense. That was its strength. SMU's weakness was being the worst deep downfield passing defense in the country other than Air Force, which is ground force, because that's how bad they are through the air, stopping people through the air. So, like, that's the one thing that Shannon Dawson wouldn't do. His whole game plan just says, we're going to do what we do because no one can stop us. And he doesn't seem to realize people can stop him. People can slow him down, whatever the word is. Even if they hadn't had all the mistakes, they would have had, 450 yards and 28 points? Is that dominating with no mistakes?
My last point before I get off, y'all, it's time to put somebody in the box. I think, Gary, you've even been saying this. We got to have an eye in the sky. We need multiple people looking at this game to say, hey, we're not attacking this part of the field, or they're coming at us from this part of the field.
A stud eye in the sky. I may have
someone who's got experience, who've seen it all. Yes, we need that. It's time to start playing fucking chess, man. We need it. We need it. Got
to be somebody. Shannon Dawson sticks. He needs somebody on the other end of the headset. I felt that way 2 years ago.
He said he was yelling. He said that's who he was yelling at. That's who he yelled at. It wasn't Mario. He was yelling at the guy in the headset.
Okay, whatever. All right, fellas, I'm out.
All right, T-Dog. Thanks for getting this going here, man. I'm gonna have to kick you from the studio. You can catch the show on the front side, but we need the spot. Jordan.
He wore the clown mask for Halloween. I did partake in Halloween, but I don't think I should tell people what I wore. So
you wore a costume on Halloween?
I did.
The trick-or-treaters knocking on your door?
I'll give you a hint. My costume involved red light, green light, and I would yell red light at all the kids and scare them.
Oh my God.
I was wearing a mask.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jordan Roebuck's taunting me, so we'll just address this right now. I'm supposed to read this and learn something. Tell Mario he needs to be the GM. Okay. Dawson must go. He's terrible. Go hire Lane Kiffin, the coach of Miami, will win championships. Maybe not. Like, who the hell knows if Lane Kiffin would? Maybe Lane Kiffin wouldn't do certain things as well as Mario does. Who knows? Sebastian's holding up signs, so we might as well go there next. It's not analytics; it's coaching. All right, we'll take that. Tell us why, Sebastian. Go ahead.
I was really hoping I wasn't gonna have a sign for Matt this week. I mean, I said it last week. The feedback I got, and I'm kind of saddened by it because SMU is all banged up. Their quarterback, they got so many injuries. I mean, we're a double-digit favorite, and Matt, I was wrong too. I really thought we were going to beat SMU. I really did. But
if they just didn't make mistakes against both those teams they lost to, they would have beaten Louisville and they would have beaten SMU. We make our predictions.
I'm gonna hold my sign. I'm gonna hold my sign up because this is where I get to the place where I say it's not analytics. These losses can do one or two things for Mario. They can make him better or they can make him worse. Because what he's going to have to figure out is there is a lot of preparation that goes into beating Miami that I think that Mario could benefit from just kind of understanding that. I'll give you a prime example. So in the first half, there's a false start penalty against Samson Oklahoma. Yeah. And if you go back and you watch that clip, what happens is it's like a 3rd and 2. The defensive linemen are in front of him, and they kind of simulate a snap count. I'm sure they must have said hud or said something, and they moved, and they caused them to flinch, and it turned out to be a 3rd and 7. Now, to their credit, none of the false start penalties really ended the drives, but that is the depth of detail that these other coaches are coming at Miami. And it's going to take more than just to pound the rock and just impose your will to kind of beat them. I'll give you another example. On that 3rd down play that he threw to Keelan Marion, I think he needed more than one option to get that 1st down, because if they make that 1st down, that's the game. Would you guys agree? That's the game. Yeah. If you're not putting the ball in the other team's hand. This play right here, I need your best stuff because this is the game. And they just didn't rise to the occasion. So what does that tell me? It's not analytics, it's coaching. It's those critical decisions that you need to make where you burn a timeout or don't burn a timeout. It's like when SMU has the ball and you want to settle your defense down because you need to stop them. That's where make it. I'll give you another example. I thought we were in trouble when we lost the game when we were up 7 points and we got the ball in scoring territory. I think like around the 30, and we had a couple penalties, and he didn't go for the field goal. To me, I think it's all about making the other team chase points. And Mario did this against Georgia Tech. If you remember Georgia Tech last year, I was so frustrated with that game because he kept going for it. He could have kicked field goals. He had a good field goal kicker. And those points were the difference in the game. And I saw it again this week as well, too. So it's not analytics. It's just coaching. What that tells me that the other team could have substandard players. They could not be as talented, and they could still end up beating us. And these types of losses can make the difference between them getting better or getting worse. I have another couple of comments to make, and I'll just turn it over to you guys. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly agree. And I want to address a couple of quick points on the questions on the message board. So JADA 0, JADA. So playing a slow pace with limited possessions, that's for, we talked about the complementary football, right? They want to not have the defense on the field as much because last year it was awful, but this year they're not recognizing they have a pretty good defense. And then SB Kane is making stuff up because I didn't promise a championship this year. I promised the playoffs this year, and I said national championship contender next year. But obviously I'm wrong. I'm wrong probably on both of them, and certainly this one. But yeah, no. As Sebastian, as to your points, to me, analytics and coaching, they sort of go hand in hand. I don't know why you're trying to sort of separate them. The problem with the coaching is multiple, right? Analytics are just numbers on a sheet that you can use or not use, and it tells you, when you should go for things and when not to go for things. It doesn't tell you when to call timeouts, okay? And that's part of the coaching problem we have, is there's not a real good sense of time management. Almost 3, 4, even 5 games a year, there are just wasted timeouts for no reason and just things that are inexplicable with the time management. Including, I thought with over 30 seconds left in the game when you get the ball back. I mean, I don't know why you don't at least try to do a first play, pass play, see if you can get something out of it. You only need to get 25
30 yards.
You got to get 40 yards, 40, 45 yards. You got a kicker who can kick a 58-yarder, like for real. I don't know if he'll get it in, but he's got a really strong leg. That things like that, where he said, well, the analytics were against us. But then other times he'll say, well, I go against the analytics because of my gut. And my gut at that point was telling me, Miami better try to score here, because in overtime on the road, the way they've looked with SMU having the momentum now and Miami just seeming to be blowing it, you're probably not going to win in overtime. You could win, but you're probably not going to. That was their chance, I thought. But they felt, I guess, like they just are too conservative. If it was Cam Ward, they would have been going for it. I have no doubt. Whatever analytics said, 31 seconds left. You got enough time for 4 or 5 pass plays.
25.
And with one timeout. You had one timeout.
Yeah.
25 seconds.
25 seconds. So each play takes about 5 seconds, right? You have a timeout. You get to the sidelines, whatever. You can run 4 or 5 plays and kick a field goal. There are 4 or 5 play 80-yard touchdown drives. You just need 50 yards, but 40.
You got to have a quarterback that you really trust in that situation.
50 yards. You need like 40 yards. But that's the whole point. Where are we going with this? Why are you paying $4 million for a guy that you can't even let him throw down the field when you need to win a game? What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand. If he's not the answer and he can't do it, I'd rather see guys next year that are going to compete next year. I'd rather see Luke Nickel. I know he's not ready. I just would rather see him than have a quarterback they don't even trust to throw it on the field and try to win a game.
Would you really, Matt? You would want to see Luke Nickel out there throwing an interception in that situation?
I would rather watch Luke Nickel and see what he can do, or Emory Williams, see if he's developed, than a guy that we know that they don't trust. Here's the point. If we're not going to be able to win games with our quarterback and try to win games with our quarterback and throw it on the field with our quarterback, then we're not going to finish the rest of the season undefeated. And then at the end of the season, we're going to look back and be like, man, wouldn't it be good if we had gotten Luke Nickel 4 real good games of experience? Man, wouldn't it have been nice if we saw Emory Williams work with the first team in practice for a month and get a couple of starts and see if he's actually the answer? Then we know maybe we have a really good quarterback that we didn't realize, what he can do from practice, being with the scout team and with the backups. We didn't realize how good he has progressed. And now we could save that $6 million next year and spend that on the defensive tackles who we just played the last 4 games, because we're already out of the playoffs and we can see these young guys now, and we know they're not going to be good enough or whatever it may be. Like they could use this next month to evaluate every aspect of their young roster in games and have film of those players in games and get them that experience and then work with them on it and then exactly know what they need in the portal, which now is only for 2 weeks. And your team is your team, just like the old days when spring practice starts, and you can't do anything after that. So it would be a huge advantage. But they are still mathematically in the playoff hunt. However, if they're going to just keep reining in Carson back and not letting him try to win games because they're scared to death of what he might do, we're not going to be going to the playoffs. And even now, if we run the table, we need so much help that I'd say that playoff chances, if we win the last 4, maybe 20% chance, maybe less. Like I'm going to write it up after I'm off.
I really think they just need to focus on trying to get their confidence back. Really, I don't think these coaches can't coach. I mean, I was actually somewhat encouraged by what I heard Shannon Dawson say, but somebody said it on the show, and I think it's the exact same thing. I think these guys are just really exhausted and tired, and they don't have enough time to be kind of creative. Because wouldn't it have been great when we needed that 3rd and 8 or whatnot? We just cooked up a real good play and got that first down.
We had the wrinkles in the Notre Dame game, Sebastian, with Malachi Tony. Nobody had ever seen those plays
he
before.
could have did a jet sweep. He could have did so many different things. And if we get that first down, we're not even having this conversation. Did we play horribly? Absolutely. The one thing I think about Miami is the next 4 games, they really have the ability to win all 4. It's just whether or not will they. And this is the season is broken up into 3 parts. Every 4 games is like 3 parts of the season. There's a lot that can be gained over these last 4 games. You got a tough game on the road against Pittsburgh. You got another tough game that's going to be in Blacksburg to demoralize Virginia Tech team. You got to not take Syracuse for granted, and you're going to have a motivated NC State team that's going to come on in here. If I'm sitting here and we're having this conversation at the end of the year and we're 10-2, I don't know if I'll be saying this season was a failure. Would I'd like to go into the playoffs, but if you told me that we're 10-2 at the end of the year and we beat Florida State, and Notre Dame, I don't know.
You're
But
disappointed, but you may not be using failure.
I'm disappointed, but I may not be using failure. What I want to see is I don't want to break everything. I don't want to fire Shannon Dawson and start all over or whatnot. I just want to see these guys kind of get better. And part of them getting better is you got to stop doing the things that you consistently do that cause you to end in this place. If we're playing in the first half and we're going for it on 4th down, where we're in field goal range where we could put 3 points on the board, I got a problem with that. Because am I going to be chasing those 3 points later in the game when we could have crossed some distance and forced the other team to score? Those are the things that I'm going to be looking at. I don't think we have a recruiting problem. I don't think we have a culture problem. I think these players on the team need to understand that, guess what? A couple plays here or there makes the difference. Now, I will tell you, I was real encouraged by what I saw from JoJo Trader. If you guys have been seeing that in practice consistently, and that's what we got a chance to see, I just don't know how he doesn't become more and more part of the game plan kind of moving forward.
How wasn't he already part of the game plan? I mean, he wasn't officially suspended or anything.
Y'all know some stuff that we don't know that y'all don't want to share, but I don't think it was in the cards to play JoJo.
Well, there was, I mean, look, there's stuff, it's been on the internet also, but the whole point is he was available to play, right?
The last few weeks he was available.
Yeah, and he's a rare talent. And in the old days, you sort of brush stuff under the rug and you play him anyway, right? I mean, he's a really exceptional talent. But I don't know where you go from here with this team. Like you said, the culture is fine. The culture is fine for some players, but not for some.
No,
players,
something's off. Something's off. Something's off. I don't know, because I like watch Beck body language. Something's off with like him and I don't know if it's the wide receiver room. Something is off because I don't see these guys having as much enjoyment and so much fun as so much as they're just very, very tight. Like, and who is that player that kind of gets them out of that funk that tells them that, we got a little adversity, we'll get beyond it. We did it in the second half. We got down 14 to 10, and then we were able to get back on top, 17. So it's almost there.
I mean, this says a lot, right? This one of the I can't remember which player it was. One of the offensive players today was asked, who were sort of stepping up as leaders. I guess it was Keelan Marion was asked, and to help keep the team focused, because the season seems to be sort of slipping away. And he said, "Oh, Francis Mauanoa and Inez Cooper." He didn't say Carson Beck. Okay, he named 2 offensive linemen who I know personally because I talk to them all the time when they were recruits. They are quiet, unassuming, really nice guys, right? They're not fiery, in your face, like I'm gonna, whatever, throw you into the sandpit, make you do up down.
Who is? Nobody.
Well, but that's the point, right?
Yeah.
So what's the culture? So that I'm talking about the culture.
There's
now,
no
right?
Ed Reed. There's
never. Look, that's a hard example to follow. But there need to be those guys who bring everyone up with them, lift everyone up, who are fiery, who sort of get, they're in the middle of the huddle before the game, or they're in the locker room gathering guys around, saying this is unacceptable, that sort of thing. And I don't think it's there. Like, this is still a coach.
Even on the sideline saying it's overtime, but we're not going home with a loss. We're not,
right.
We're not.
And I asked Mario this earlier this year, but this is still, he said it wasn't, but it is. It's still a coach-led team. And until this becomes a player-led team, where players are not afraid to go to the coaches and say, listen, we don't like what Shannon Dawson's running. He's got to come up with some other stuff. This is not going to work. We have a lot of players who are privately grousing about how boring the game plans are. They're not excited to be playing the game. Like, this needs to change. Like, there used to be leaders on the team where 4 or 5 of them would go into the coach's office and tell that coach something that coach didn't want to hear. That happened every year when the Miami Hurricanes were great. It hasn't happened that I've heard of for the last decade. And like, until they get back to that point where the players are the unit and the coaches are on the periphery, right? Like, that's what it has to become, because this game is for and about the players. They're the ones who are risking their bodies for 4 hours every Saturday, who are up at 5 in the morning getting treatment for pain that will never go away the rest of their lives, right? And until that happens again, like, we're not going to be good culture-wise. Now, we do out-talent everybody, but that only gets you so far, which we've seen for the last 2 years now.
Talent doesn't win. It's my last comment. And put somebody else on the show. How do we finish the season? How do we win the last 4 games and make it a salvageable season? What do you guys say to that?
Play much better football.
It has to be a different team. It has to be a different team. Like, good luck.
Yeah, you're going to need to play well to beat NC State and Pitt. I'll tell you that. I think you could beat Syracuse with an average game. Virginia Tech even is playing better football. You'd like to think you'll beat them, but you just got to get back to being what you were. Like, have wrinkles in the game plan. Shannon Dawson. Nobody was bitching about Shannon Dawson the night of the Notre Dame game when he rolled out Malachi
reverse. I want him to run a reverse. Make him think about something different.
Just run something that they're not expecting. Like, he had that whole package for Tony on opening night. Well, nobody had seen Tony before, and Notre Dame wasn't prepared for it. It was the difference in the ball game, I felt. Have things that you bring to the table that they just aren't ready for. Rhett Lashley did it the other day. All right, Sebastian, got to let you run, man. Got to get some other guys on. Thank you. And you watch the rest of the show on the front side, okay, because we need the studio spot.
Bye, Sebastian.
Bye, Sebastian. Thank you.
Pretend to hold up a sign that says bye.
Where'd King go? Oh, he's a
good caller, Sebastian. I like these guys.
He probably had to go back to work here. All right, let's. We got a couple audio only guys here. Let's go. JC's been. I know he's been trying to get on the show for a while. JC, where's your video, man?
Hi.
What's going on? This is
Jason. Hear me?
This is Jason. He's been long time subscriber.
We can hear you.
Oh, good. Yeah, no video today. Just calling in.
Cool.
Disappointing. Obviously disappointing. I feel like earlier this season we beat Notre Dame and beat Florida. I felt like I felt like the first time I hadn't felt in a long time. I just brought back memories of beating Notre Dame and the Orange Bowl in '89. Brought back memories of contending for a national
You know what?
championship.
I know why
But,
he's on. I know why he's on a video, Gary. It's Shannon Dawson disguising his voice. I can already tell. He's already saying how great things are. Hey, Shannon, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm getting ready. We're working on my A-gap plays here.
Sorry.
Yeah, but Matt, you just calm down because I'm going to do my weekly negative rant. I don't want you to get too riled up but I'm going to talk about a little bit of Cane's history, which will be painful, but just to serve as a reminder about the same plus same equals same. But it was December 2002. December 2002, the last time we knew we were in contention for a national championship. After that, Larry Coker and the Peach Bowl did something that is familiar to us now. He was forced to let go of Dan Werner, Vernon Hargraves, Art Kehoe, Don Saldinger, and
all of them.
I forgot who else the other person was.
I was on campus that day. They were all just moving out. It was a pretty sad day. Yeah.
Yep. And then we hire a journeyman, former Dennis Erickson offensive coordinator, Rich Olson. He and says he's going to put more three-step drops for Kyle Wright to not get sacked. That was a flop. Next thing you know, Coker's fired. Gary tells us, man, he's a nice guy. He had us over for dinner, but man, gotta go. And then Randy Shannon comes in.
Are we going through Patrick Nix and like John Rick?
Yeah.
Like, are we doing a whole history here? We don't need the history lesson. We lived it.
All right.
We've lived it, Jason.
So basically what I'm saying is we've been doing this for so long, and it's a shame that last year and this year, the talent we have cannot be put together on the field. We're imploding in the middle of the season. We're having all these penalties, and I just have to say it's coaching. I hope, Gary, that Mario can walk and chew gum. You told us that he has the toolbox to come in here and to fix this. I'm a big fan of Mario. I knew that he should have been here, but I am very concerned. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he has more tools in his toolbox. I hope that he gets this right. One thing you did mention before when he was hiring his staff was that for him to have a former head coach on staff to help him. Now, we know Mario is a CEO. We know he's an excellent recruiter. He's building the program. He knows how to build the culture. Is he perfect? No. Does he need to change in a few things? Yes, but he is the right guy for now. But I think he needs somebody like he had when Joe Moore had out in Oregon. His best time in Oregon, he had a former head coach, Joe Moorhead, calling the plays. And I don't like to talk about Dabo Sweeney, but when he was successful, he was a position coach, and then he got elite coordinators, Brent Venables, Jeff Scott, and Tony Elliott calling the plays. 100%. And I think that's what he needs.
That's what I keep saying.
I guess he
100%,
could.
100%. You're 100% right.
So if you were to predict, do you think that Dawson would get a job, move on? Do you think that
no? Come on.
I don't think he's getting a head coaching job this year.
Oh, no, but I don't think he's going to be back.
You don't think he's going to be back? Okay.
I don't.
I happen to think that. Listen, I mean, it's not like the guy doesn't know offensive football, and it's not like he can't call plays. I mean, and plays are just plays. I mean,
his history
plays.
His history. He was fired after a year at Kentucky by Stoops. He had 2 good years at Houston because he had 2 NFL players in a bad conference. Toon and the slot receiver who had 2 amazing years. I can't remember his name, of course, because I'm losing my memory.
Yeah, Cam Ward had a really good year.
Cam Ward, and like that's what he's hung his hat on. But he hasn't proven anything to anybody at this point. And the fans at Houston have the same complaints that we're having to some extent. It was a boring offense. Where it was really just Toon thrown to the one guy and then a bunch of running plays up the middle. Like that was their offense, like for real. And it's the same thing here. But defense coordinators are starting to figure it out. And to Mario's credit, he doesn't put up with this. Another head coach, if it was a different head coach, I would say Dawson's probably going to come back because they're going to average, they'll be okay. They'll average 30 points a game, 420 yards a game. And it'll be like, oh, well, if not for the turnover, it's not for this or that, we would have been great. But
Yeah,
Mario
I don't know what
sees
he's
through
going
all
to do.
that.
You
I'd be
can't change your
surprised.
coordinators
I'd be
every year.
surprised if Mario doesn't go out and get a top-notch offensive coordinator because he needs
Hasn't
it.
he tried to do that twice already?
Tank Dell, yeah, thank you, Tank Dell. I don't know how I
I
forgot
think
that.
We'll see. I mean, he's
that's
tried to do that twice already. I mean, you can't just keep firing your coordinators every year.
He did it. He did it twice on the cheap. That's the problem. This program historically has underpaid coordinators, underpaid position coaches. We're at a crossroads, right? We've hired the right head coach. Like, I think Mario's the right guy. His one failing right now is his coordinators, and he's trying to do too much, right? Because he recognizes, well, my coordinators aren't great. I'm going to have to help them, and he's doing that. But he's not a coordinator. He was a tight ends coach and an offensive line coach. He's never been a coordinator. He shouldn't have any input. He shouldn't even be talking to Shannon Dawson during the week. But Shannon Dawson obviously needs help. If he could bring in a great offense coordinator, pay an offense coordinator what he deserves to make, with the talent on this offense, man, this could be a top 10 offense in this country with a great coordinator. Like, it should be, as a matter of fact. It should be. Right? They have sick talent on offense.
I hate having to
the best offensive line.
They have guys that are good
I
players.
hate having to always go through another coordinator and after that, but what has to be done has to be done. And besides, this is NIL. Players are on the move. You see what's happening with head coaches getting terminated quickly. So I'm hoping that Mario sees that's what he needs, and I can surmise that's why he probably went after a guy named Jason Candle, former head coach, current head coach at Toledo, and maybe he still realizes that's what he needs and he makes a change there. But the big thing I have a question of is it Dawson or is it Mario with this offensive style? Because Mario he was playing, and when he played for Miami, we had the ruthless posse. We were throwing the ball around. Do you think it's his desire just to be a ground and pound all the time, or does he want to be
I think
balanced?
he feels like that's the formula to win, but the consistency that you have to make this work, because your drives are going for extended number of plays, and you can't get killed by penalties. You can't get killed by missed blocks. It's asking a lot year after year after year of college kids to execute at that kind of level. I think they need more big plays. I think they need to go down the field more, but we'll see. I mean, I say that, and then they go down the field, and JoJo bobbles the ball up in the air, and he gets intercepted. So, Carson Beck's thrown a lot of interceptions the last few weeks. So I'm not sure there's any perfect answer. All right, JC, I got to let you go, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Come back to us again next week with some video.
Sounds good. You guys have a good night. Thanks.
All right, man. Let's see. Matt, I'm going to let you go.
All right, I'm going to work on my story. Everyone stay tuned for the playoff story and how Miami's not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I know you got to do that now.
I got to look at it. I'm going to look at it right now, and I'll put the story up hopefully in the next half hour.
Matt's going to go do an analysis of the playoff rankings. The voice of the fan is going to be joining us soon. But wait, let's
you get rid of the voice?
All right, there we go. We got rid of Matt. Like, sorry to cut you off in mid sentence, Matt, but Matt's got some work to do. All right, the voice of the fan, Bruce Warner, will be with us here at some point shortly, but where is he? Kane's been real patient. Kane, where the hell did you go? I'm seeing your video. You gotta come back in, Kane. You're locked up. Let's go to K-Mac. How you doing, K-Mac? Welcome back to CaneSport Live.
Hey, what's going on, Gary? How you been? I've been right back.
Doing good. What you got for us this week?
Well, I was looking at needless to say, I'm disappointed like everybody else, but what I found, man, is what we have to start doing is this is why I'm not a fan of guys calling out scores and 14 points better than and all this other stuff, man. Told you guys every week, these guys, the teams we're playing, they're coming in to win a game too. They're not coming in to lay down for anybody. They're coming in to win games as well. I can't really disagree with a lot of I heard tonight. I think one is I've heard the things with Mario Mario's the best GM in college football. There's nobody better at running a program than Mario. I'm in agreement with these guys. We just have to get elite coordinators. I actually don't think Heatherman has done a bad job at all this year. I think Heatherman has done a fantastic job. I think it's more so the fact that I think the defense is just getting a little disappointed or discouraged by what they're seeing from the offensive side of the ball. Like, that's just my personal opinion.
Where'd you go, K-Mac? Everyone's disappearing on me here. Let's see. While we wait for him to come back, let's go to the Mikester Kane. Welcome back to CaneSport Live. Are you here? K-Mac, I'll be back to you. I see you again. I'll be right back to you. Go ahead, Mikester.
Oh gosh, Gary, I don't know what to say. Okay, I don't even know where to begin. I hate it when I'm right all the time about these sort of things. What did I say on the show a few weeks ago? You let your opponent hang around, you're gonna get bit. Okay, all right. Well, why? Well, Shannon Dawson. What has he got? I mean, where is his imagination?
He's been very inconsistent, but
where is his creativity? It's not there, Gary. It's not good. It's not there. It's just not good enough. Okay.
My honest opinion is he was spooked in the Louisville game by Carson Beck's performance that day. Okay. And he's been in a little bit of a shell since. I mean, to me, it's kind of obvious they don't trust Carson Beck to freewheel it. Okay. So they're running a very controlled offense.
Why aren't they trusting him? I mean, is it because of his surgery?
He threw essentially 5 interceptions against Louisville, and they lost.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was at the game. I know.
That'll ruin the mood in the room. I mean, you're undefeated. You're trying to win a conference championship. You're trying to win a national championship by going to the playoffs, and your quarterback essentially throws the ball to the other team 5 times in a game. I mean, that will rattle the best of them.
Oh, of course it will. Of course it will. But I think it's him. I think it's Dawson. I mean, I just I don't see the creative.
Be accountable, and he was Dawson. He's got to be accountable especially when it's the guy he's coaching, which in this case he's the quarterback.
Let me ask you this, Gary. Do you remember that interview that he gave a few weeks ago? Do you remember that with the reporters? What did he say? He said, "Nothing is going to change."
Correct.
You remember that? That was the worst thing that anybody could say, because
not what the fan base wanted to hear.
You're giving your opponent your scheme. Okay, we're going to stuff it now, guys.
I mean, you could be playing possum in that situation. Well, you could be saying, "I'm not changing anything," and then still change everything.
Well, okay, but so.
But you can't roll out a whole new playbook at this point, okay? But you can have a handful of plays every week that are unique, that nobody's seen before. He did it against Notre Dame.
Why did you go away from it? Why? I don't get it.
That's $1 million question, and we can only sit here and speculate. I mean, and it might be a false narrative, but it looks like they don't trust Carson Beck to just freewheel it, or they don't feel they have the personnel to do that. So they're running a very controlled offense built around the offensive line and the running game. But when the offensive line starts failing and getting holding penalties, false start penalties, and
leads to all this other stuff, and then you get caught in this vicious cycle and you can't get out of it.
You're always behind the chains. You're always in third.
Behind the chains. You're always on 3rd and long. You got to convert. Then the whole playbook changes, and you don't have the playbook. You can't convert on 3rd and long, and guess what? You got to punt the ball.
Yeah.
And then everything goes
so there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on, and I don't know that there's as much as I would love for us here tonight to be able to hone in on one thing that is the reason why they're losing. And losing 5 of the last 12 games with two damn good football teams, Mikester. I mean, these are pretty good football teams. Miami was being called the most complete team in the country for a reason earlier this season.
You're right. That is, I think that's true. Yes, but as an offensive coordinator, you got to be unpredictable in your play calling. And, he was at first, and then he gets away from it, and that's not acceptable. It's just not. I mean, come on. Now, the question is, can we win the rest of our games and get to a bowl game? Can he throw?
They can, but it could go the other way too.
I mean, a trick play, a flea flicker, a reverse, something, anything in there that will gain momentum and, move the ball down the field and not get behind the sticks and stop with these stupid, dumbass penalties, So I don't know, but that's my concern, I mean, what are you doing? Is he going to be good enough for next year? I don't know at this point. Mario's got a lot to think about. I mean, he's got
a lot to think about, but you can't just keep firing people every year. Like
I know.
You don't have to fire a coordinator to get better. Like it's just, like these are just plays. They're plays. You can use the plays better. You can use your personnel better. You can get better personnel.
You can teach them better. You can teach them better.
Yes.
Like, I'll give you an example, okay?
You can evaluate better.
If you're going to run the ball up the A gap, you can fake the A gap and then come around, spin around like this and hide the ball and wait for your split end to come down and in man-to-man situation. And if he's open, you got him.
I wonder if they could do it all over again today. Do they take Mendoza? I mean, it's Monday morning quarterback. He's the leader right now, probably for the Heisman Trophy. But do you take Mendoza instead of Carson Beck if you're given that decision over again? Nobody will ever answer that question. Nobody will ever address that question.
Well, now you're talking about the portal, right? Well, the portal is a hit or miss. I mean,
it's about evaluation, man. That's evaluation. You're evaluating Mendoza, which they did, and you're evaluating Carson Beck, which they did, and they made an organizational decision to go get Carson Beck. What the hell's that?
Flip of the coin, Gary. It's a flip of the coin. You either have it or you don't when it comes to the portal.
I'm not sure the coin came up right on that. And it's not that Carson's been terrible. But
no, he's not been terrible.
He hasn't been terrible, but he was terrible in the Louisville game, and I think that spooked Shannon Dawson. All right, Mike, I got to get some other people on, man. Thank you so much for your patience, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
All right, Bruce is calling in sick tonight, so you're stuck with me solo here for the rest of the show. Let's go to Rocky. Rocky, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on, Gary? Man, I'm stuck with you tonight. No truth teller.
No truth teller tonight. He's called in sick. What's going on, man?
Yeah. So, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything that everybody said tonight. I know we're all frustrated and disappointed with the turnout of the past few games, but I did something this past Sunday. I took a break from the NFL, and it was a Hurricane Sunday for me. I went back and watched 4 games. I watched the Notre Dame game. I watched the Florida game. I watched the Louisville game, and I watched the SMU game. I did all that on Sunday. And what I see to my eye in the latter games versus the former, the best way I could describe it is a lack of respect. First 2 games, Florida and Notre Dame, we came out with our hair on fire. We came out focused. We came out with attention to detail. We came out basically with the intention of taking the opponent seriously. Louisville and SMU, I didn't see that. Louisville, we came out lethargic. SMU, we came out lethargic, I thought. A little better versus SMU than Louisville. I actually thought Dawson, to the chagrin of probably a lot of people here, I thought actually in the SMU game, at the beginning of the game, he did a little bit better job of scheming up and showing us a little bit of variety. I think it all flipped whenever JoJo had that bobble, and then there was the interception. From that point on, it's like somebody got on a headset and said, "Cut it out,
rein it in." Yes,
we're gonna go back to what we do.
Yes.
And you saw during the progression of that SMU game. Then you have Carson Beck You see where the plays are taking a long time to get in. It's almost like they're fighting on the sidelines to try to decide what they want to do on offense.
You and I saw the same. You and I saw the same thing.
And-
From that play forward, the look changed, and it's not that they didn't get yards; they got yards, but they didn't get points. And they're asking themselves to put together long ball control drives, and that's with this team looks like it's asking a lot. Like even your best players that are on the offensive line aren't executing with consistency, and.
Right. But I say this too, Gary. I say lack of respect because in that sense, not executing correctly or not maybe being as focused as what you were. I really believe coming down from the head coach that you're not taking these teams seriously. You're not taking a Louisville or an SMU as seriously as Florida. You don't believe that? You disagree?
I disagree. Yeah, I don't think it's that they're not taking them seriously. I just think they're not playing well against them. I mean, against Louisville, it was an offensive abomination. I mean, the interceptions, the guys totally uncovered in the flats that weren't being identified, and the ball finding its way out to them. I mean, there were so many things that went on in that game. Miami's better than Louisville. Miami's better than SMU.
We're better than both of them.
On paper, on what they would call paper or whatever. Miami is a more complete football team, yet they lost to two really good offensive coaches who were able to put up more points.
But why? What's the reason behind it?
Because they're not laying it all out there and having enough success on the offensive side of the football. I mean, other teams are good too. Like Louisville and SMU have the capability of scoring against anybody. Okay, you got to score points in college football to win. I mean, hell, Duke, it took them 45 points at Clemson the other day to beat Clemson. I mean, can Miami go out and score 45 points in the game? I don't know. Can they? They don't try to.
You got a combination of a couple things. You got the angst of having an alumni as your head coach that once you get to a certain point in the season, right, is so like this. He's got the team tight. That's what I saw in the latter two games. Carson Beck, yeah, he had a horrible game in Louisville. I agree with you. I think that spooked Shannon Dawson and the whole coaching staff. But combined with that, you've got Mario that's so scared to screw up that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that he's screwing things up.
I don't know if I would call it scared to screw up. I think they felt like they were good enough to where they could play it closer to the vest and not take a chance on turning the ball over and still win football games. I honestly feel like they believe that. Okay, and you don't get burned by that until you get burned by it. Okay, and in the Louisville game, you could slough it off. All right, Carson had a bad day, threw the ball away 4 times. All right, 4 official, 5 total. Against SMU, I felt like they got caught just playing way too close to the vest for way too much of the game. Not in the first quarter where they looked pretty good, but for way too much of the game. And you can't do that when you got a stud on the other sideline. That all Red Lashley was trying to do was keep the game within 1 score.
Gary is playing with a one-legged quarterback with an injury list a mile long on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. He just wanted to keep it. He wanted to keep it within 1 score because he felt like he could dial it up in the 4th quarter, and he did. To his credit, he executed his game plan.
And look, watching the game back, you're right. You got to admit, we didn't execute.
He said it after the game. I was just trying to stay within 1 score. I did not want to let them get 2 scores ahead.
The 4th and 1 with Marty Brown when he made the wrong cut. That's why they were yelling on the sideline.
That was third. It was third.
It's third. Okay.
Gary,
go back and look at
the one and over. There was 1 4th and 1 where they got stuffed.
The
one where he missed the hole was in overtime.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the one before that. The one where he missed. Look, go back and look at. There were 50 men in the box, and we still ran the ball up.
There were 9 guys in the box, and and they were teeing off on those A and B gaps, and there was very slim chance that play was going to work.
So
they should have had. They needed a wrinkle in that situation, man. Sometimes you got to play action on 3rd down. Like everything can't always be
But if you're playing for a head coach, Gary, that wants to try to feature his offensive line constantly, and it's all about the O-line, and it's all about this and all that, that'll work for you for a while. But that's another thing I've noticed. Watch those 4 games. You got film later in the year that's going to get you beat. People are going to scheme against that, and they're going to take away your strengths. To the credit of Miami on at the SMU game, I thought they shifted around Malachi Tony a lot, especially early, and used him kind of as a decoy because he started to garner a lot of attention early on. I thought they did that. But they're going to take away your strengths, and you're just not going to win that way, and you got to learn how to adjust. And we're never going to get over the hump if Mario doesn't learn how to adjust in these games. And is he, you tell me, Gary, is he unstubborn enough to realize that? Can he look at
I would think so, because I think losing has a way of humbling anybody, man. I would think Mario's very humbled at this point.
I would say I would agree with you, Gary, with most people except maybe this guy. I mean, that's why we're all worried. I mean, he's just stubbornness.
But listen, I mean, you could say somebody's stubborn, but when they don't have success, it can bring them down to earth very quick. And trust me, Mario is getting disrespected all over the country.
All over the country.
It's insane. I mean, he is getting badly disrespected, and I'm sure that makes him very angry. But the only way you turn that around is by having success.
You just got to win. I also think too, Gary, that there's something to be said about this officiating thing. The games in the ACC are much tighter called than the games.
These refs are horrendous. They're horrendous.
They're terrible. They're terrible. And look, I'm one. I've said it. I kind of agree with Dabo. I mean, I think there needs to be an investigation done on some of these refs. Some of it's just blatant. It's just blatantly stupid.
Yeah. Some of the things we're seeing this year are really bad, and I don't understand. I don't understand.
Everybody's gonna make a bad call or have a bad day, but when it's repetitive and when you start seeing patterns of it, something's wrong.
I mean, when I start seeing receivers tackled while they're running routes, when I see them being held by, pulled by the jersey all the way down the field and holding's not called, and I don't know. I mean, all the times that Reuben Bain has been held. I mean, it's a rough year for the ACC refs if they don't have a bias. Let's put it that way. All right, Rock. Thank you, man.
All right,
we'll see you again next week. All right. The voice of the fan, Mr. Bruce, is rallied here.
What's up, buddy?
I'm glad you rallied here and decided to grace us with your presence.
Yeah, I am tired and I got a hearing in the morning, but that's okay.
All right, well, give us a few minutes. We don't have to keep you the whole time. Just tell me what's the mindset of the fan right now?
I can't say all the F-bombs that I want to say, so I won't do that. But you've heard it all, and it's no different from the fans. We're just angry stuff. I think our expectations were so high, we still can't believe what's going on. But, I've said this for the last couple of months. I said it for the last couple of years. I don't want to be accused of saying things that are wrong, but I said all along, when we got Mario, I know you were in for this guy, everybody, even in Oregon, was questioning whether he's a good game day coach. And here we are all these years later. It hasn't changed.
I think you're a good game day coach when you win. They're not winning. They're losing close games, Bruce.
They're not correcting mistakes, Gary. That's a problem. You're right about the refs. I mean, when Malachi Tony got tackled in the Louisville game, before the ball got to him and the guy intercepted it, he's laying on the ground. How the hell is that not pass interference? I mean, that was so blatant. It's terrible. But yet they were talking for weeks now, we got to stop these false starts. Have they corrected it? No. Jumping off sides, play again and again. No.
Yeah,
everybody's talking about Dawson, and I don't want to go there because if you ask me, I think he should be gone next year. And people were saying, well, Mario's controlling him. I don't think so. I don't see him talking to Dawson with clipboards and the play charts. I don't see that. I think he's got total autonomy. And if he's not,
If anything, I think Dawson's afraid. He's afraid to fail. I mean, I think he loves his
then
job.
You can't win like that.
You can't win like that. No, because then you don't have enough.
Our offense
You don't have enough.
40, 50 points a game, and everybody blamed that on the defense. Well, the defense is much better this year. Why are you playing so conservatively? Let it go. Let it go.
I think everyone's just putting a little too much pressure on themselves in this program.
Yeah.
The head coach is highly wound. The OC doesn't want to fail. This is a very key point. It's a very key place in his career. The defense coordinator, he's loose because this is his breakthrough, and he's doing pretty well. I mean, so I don't think he's wound as tight, but I don't see guys having fun, man. I don't see
that's for sure.
I don't see coaches or players having fun, and it's like get back to having fun and be well prepared and have wrinkles in your back pocket. Don't just let Rhett Lashley show up with his back pocket full of little things. I mean, if you watch
Brom who made us look silly.
Yeah, but if you watch these guys like Lashley the other day, he had a play they get the interception when the JoJo play. The next play he scores a touch. He had a touchdown play that he rolled out for that moment.
Just like we had the flea flicker. We had the flea flicker. That was right after a turnover.
But it's beyond just trick plays, though, Bruce. What I'm talking about, like there was another play and I'm just thinking of the ones I remember where he isolated one of his speedy backs on Mohamed Touré. And we've seen it in the earlier games. Touré has a problem in coverage when he gets manned up. And he only did it once the entire game, Bruce. And it went for like 30 yards or something like that. Like, this is what the good play callers and coordinators do that we are not seeing right now.
Right.
And
finding the weak spot and attacking it.
Huh?
Finding the weak spot and attacking the weak spot.
Shannon doesn't have to be fired for that to happen. He's capable of doing it.
I don't know about that. Last year he had Cam Ward. He had a magician last year.
They had the number one offense in the country with Cam Ward.
Yeah, I know, but they had a magician at quarterback.
Yeah, yes.
Listen, a lot of guys keep asking me, why don't you talk to your friends, the former players? Well, I spoke to like 10 of them this week, since Saturday. They all say the same thing, and I don't know if it's true. I can't answer it. Maybe you can. I don't know. These guys are telling me that they're working so damn hard during the week that by Saturday, they're exhausted. That's why they don't look like they're having fun. They look like they're just zombies out there. Yes. And I've heard this from many of the former players. So it's like, whoa, this might be true.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of exhaustion. I'm seeing.
And maybe that's why November they take a dive because they're exhausted.
And I said this earlier in the show, when you see a defensive tackle jump off sides, okay, a mistake, no question, and then starts sprinting towards the sideline to take himself out of the game.
He was scared. He thought he was going to get yanked. He might as well beat him to the punch.
He thought he was getting yanked because he jumped off sides. I don't remember ever seeing that before. A player sprinting himself out of the game because he jumped off sides.
Immediately, Gary didn't even look to the sidelines. He was just going.
Did not even look for the yank.
Look, right?
He didn't see it. He didn't look to see if there was a cord. He committed the offsides. He jumped up and he sprinted for the sideline.
Yep.
I mean, that's like, I don't know. You just see little things, but they just need a little more in their arsenal. They need to be a little more freewheeling. They do have playmakers on the roster. There's guys on the team that are doing hardly anything. I mean, I'm going to stop yelling about Elijah Lofton because he's screwed up now twice.
Yeah, I want to see.
I mean, he's making me look like an idiot, like a total idiot.
We all said the same thing. This guy's incredible.
I know. I feel like an idiot because I've been telling how good of a football player this kid is, and I still believe it. But every time they try to go to him, he screws up.
Maybe that's why he didn't play a lot in some of those middle games. He's just not well in practice. It could be.
Well, he wasn't practicing well. Yeah, Josh Moore is another one that I don't understand. Like, how is this guy incapable of helping the Miami Hurricanes win games this year? I mean, I don't get it. Another young receiver, Upshaw, was sensational in spring and fall practice. I mean, he hasn't done one thing the whole year.
Well, Josh Moore's done something, but he should be out there, though. He should be out there. You know what I thought? I'm not the play caller. But every time they go to Malachi on a little bubble screen up the middle, he's in the slot. Every time, if you watch the replays, 6 or 7 or 8 defenders are like running to him immediately. Because
well, why? Of course.
So why don't they fake that and then throw Josh down the field deep? He's going to have single coverage. Put it up in the air. Let him go get it. That's what he did in the spring.
Too many guys making zero contributions. Jordan Lyle, whatever. Hey, Bruce, I want to bring Matt back for a minute because he spent the last 15 minutes studying. I'll be right back to you, Bruce. He spent the last 15 minutes studying the new rankings, and he's got this whole thing figured out. All right, Matt, is there a path for the Canes?
Figured out. Yeah, sort of. So here's the deal. It's all going to depend, obviously, on other teams. Miami's 18th. I changed my shirt on my sleep wardrobe. That's what I do. I do my best work.
Listen, you already showed us your damn chest tonight with the monitor.
I do my best work in my sleep wardrobe.
I don't need to see your pajamas too, okay?
That's my pajama T-shirt.
Just
anyway,
tell us about the damn rankings.
So okay. So look, a lot of teams are going to have to lose 2 games to not have 10 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Okay, so let's break this down real quick. Ohio State. These are all teams that would have to lose 2 more games, okay, to even be maybe close with Miami, right? Because Ohio State's undefeated, for instance, right? So, to lose 2 more games for really good teams at this point, it's probably not going to happen. So here are the 10 teams: Ohio State, Texas A&M, BYU, and Memphis. And I'm sorry, when I say Memphis, okay, the top group of 5 teams, I'm saying Memphis, but it's going to be another team, right? Those 4 teams are going to be ahead of Miami unless one of those 3 loses 2 more games, or even then so. And Memphis, a group of 5 makes the playoffs. Even though no group of 5 teams in the top 25, one of them has to make the playoffs. That's just the rule. And then there's going to be an ACC team. So I'm going to just say Virginia for now, right? Because they're the highest ranked at 14th. There's Miami is the number 4 ACC team in the rankings, which isn't a great place to start at this point. So that's 5 teams that are going to be in there that are conference champions. Miami, I wrote in the story, they're not going to be in the ACC title game. I mean, it'd have to wind up in a crazy 5-way tie scenario. They're probably not even going to make that, but that's the only way they can do it. And I broke it down in the story, but that's going to be ruled out, I think, in my opinion. Okay. So those 5 teams, that's 5 spots. Okay. 5 conference champions or thereabouts. Again, there could be upsets in the conference title game, but those 5 teams I'm going to put in for now. Now there's 5 more teams that probably also have to lose 2 games. That's Indiana, right, which is undefeated, ranked number 2. Alabama has 1 loss. I think 1 more loss won't push them behind Miami, right? They're number 4. Same thing with Georgia with 1 loss. Same thing with Oregon with 1 loss. And same thing with Ole Miss with 1 loss, right? I don't think any of those teams lose. They're going to fall behind Miami. If they lose 2 more games, they fall behind Miami. So the chances of that, pretty slim. And then same thing with Ole Miss. If I didn't mention them, they have 1 loss as well. So that's 5 more teams. Okay, so now you got 10 teams that would have to lose 2 more games to be below Miami. 8 out of those 10 would have to lose 2 more games. 2 of them, 1 has to be an ACC champion, 1 has to be a group of 5 that's in the playoffs. So that's 10 teams. 12 teams make the playoffs. Math's not that hard, right? There's 2 more spots. Okay. So a big problem for Miami right now is Notre Dame, Louisville, and Utah. Those are the 3 teams that are going to be problems, okay? Because Texas is ahead of Miami, but they have 2 losses. They have to play Georgia and Texas A&M. Like, good luck winning both of those. Oklahoma has 2 losses. They're ahead of Miami, but they have to play Alabama and Missouri. Good luck with those. And then you got Vanderbilt, who's ranked barely ahead of Miami, and they have to play Tennessee. Are they a concern? Yes, they're also a concern, but maybe not as much as the other ones. And you have Georgia Tech has to play Georgia, right? I'm going to say they're going to lose to Georgia, okay? I'm hoping they lose to Georgia for Miami's sake. If they don't, that's another problem for Miami. And then USC is a spot behind Miami, but they play Oregon. If they beat Oregon, do they leapfrog a Miami team that's only playing Pittsburgh? They might. And Michigan, 2 spots behind Miami, they play Ohio State in the regular season finale. What if they upset the top team in the country? They are going to jump ahead of Miami. That's another problem, right? But we're going to say none of those things happen for now. And we'll focus on the 3 that I think are the biggest problems. Notre Dame against Miami, you would think if they're ranked within a couple of spots of each other, maybe Miami can make an argument. We beat Notre Dame. We should be in the playoffs. Why are they in the playoffs? Maybe it could flip-flop. But unfortunately for Miami, Notre Dame's ranked 10th. Miami's ranked 18th. Okay? So unless Notre Dame loses another game, they're not going to flip-flop with Miami. There's 0 chance. And their only team that they play that's any good that's left is Pittsburgh. Okay? So that's not great. If they beat Pittsburgh, they're going to play in a conference title game. They will be in the playoffs ahead of Miami, Notre Dame, okay? And then I mentioned Utah. Utah has nobody ranked left on their schedule, and they're number 13 with 2 losses, okay? Now, could they lose in the conference title game and fall behind Miami at number 18? Maybe, because but the committee does not like to drop teams a lot when they lose in the conference title game and punish them for a good reason, right? They made the conference title game. Other teams like Miami didn't. Are you going to punish them and drop them 6 spots, 5 spots? I don't know. So that's a problematic team as well, Utah. And then Louisville has nobody left, no ranked opponents left, okay, on their schedule. They're ranked number 15. Miami's number 18. Louisville may not make the AC title game. It could easily be Georgia Tech against Virginia. In which case, Louisville just ends the season like Miami with 2 losses. They don't play anyone particularly good the rest of the way. I'm sorry, Louisville has 1 loss, right? 1 loss. So they end the season with 1 loss, and they're in the playoffs ahead of Miami. If the ACC gets 3 teams in, if they want to put, maybe if Virginia loses the ACC title game, and they want to put Virginia in with Georgia Tech, which would have won the ACC title game, so they have to be in potentially. And then does Louisville get in that situation? You think with 1 loss they'd have to, but these are there's a lot of problems for Miami right now. When you just look at the remaining schedules and how many teams are left ahead of them, like Miami sort of need to be in that 15-16 range. I think to have a pretty good shot at the playoffs, like a 50-50 shot, I would put them at maybe 10% chance right now, if that. So it's going to be exceedingly hard. They need a lot of things to go right. Maybe a couple of upsets people don't see coming, particularly against Louisville and Utah, maybe against Notre Dame, to have a chance, and it's just going to be tough.
All right. Thanks for the great news. Go to sleep.
Goodbye.
10% chance. Not what.
Did you ask him to repeat that? I didn't understand.
But the bottom line is he thinks Miami has a 10% chance to make the playoffs.
Hey, he forgot one thing.
He
forgot one thing. Miami has to run the table. He totally forgot about that. Yeah, I'm not ruling out NC State. That quarterback is good.
And unfortunately, he's probably right. All right, let's go to Jake. Jake, welcome back to CaneSport Live. Thank you for your patience tonight. What are we drinking, man? How many? No, wait. Let me ask you a better question. How many bottles of wine have you gone through since Saturday morning?
Actually, I've just been drinking hard liquor. I can't. I can't. Not with this team here. Let me center this monitor here. But oh my God! So I was spared. I have to admit I didn't watch the second half of the game. We were out in Moab and having some fun on a side-by-side out there, having a blast. And unfortunately, I had this demon ticking in my ear that is the Miami Hurricanes. I was trying to track the game on my phone, and then I've got YouTube TV for the game, and so it didn't record the game and everything. So I've just been trying to piece.
You didn't miss anything.
Literally, no, I didn't. You
didn't miss anything. You lost.
I drove myself insane reading through the play-by-play, trying to figure out how the fuck we lost this game. SMU had 0 yards rushing in regulation, 0. And in fact, I think it was actually -2 because they had 25 in overtime and they finished the game with 23 yards. So they had -2 yards rushing.
That's right.
We somehow lost. So if I'm the defense, I'm giving them a pass for just saying, you know what, I fucking give up. Like it's
that. Jake, you can't say that.
Well, no, but I mean, we lost. I'm not fine with it, but it's just like I'm just disgusted with this offense, with Mario, with Shannon Dawson, with the penalties. Let's face it, Mario is not a good game day coach. He has we pretend as though like his career began at Miami. Guy's been a head coach. I've said this a million times. This is like his 18th season.
Yeah.
When he had T.Y. Hilton at FIU, he was good. Other than that, he sucked. He got fired. Oregon, look, the fans weren't crying when he left, and he collapsed at the end of the season there the last 2 or 3 years. And it's been pretty dismal.
I hear this.
One of those years, we had a horrible quarterback. I forgot the kid's name. He was terrible.
Guess who recruited them?
Oh, I don't know who recruited
I'm
that
sorry.
kid.
Quarterback's it's the most important position, and thus far he hasn't done a whole hell of a lot here recruiting that. Despite, in the portal he has, but he hasn't gotten anyone in high school that's wowing you or you're like, oh, let's see.
But I got a question, Jake. Let me take you back to what you said a minute ago because this gets parroted constantly. Obviously, Mario can't coach on game day. Mario can't coach on game day.
The record speaks.
Did they lose the other day because Mario can't coach on game day, or did they lose because players didn't play very well and made a lot of mistakes, and maybe they didn't have enough from during the week in the offensive game plan?
The answer is both. It's obviously both, but his precious offensive line, there's been no penalty to be had for this horrendous. I have never seen anything like this.
It's shocking.
Not even Miami. Just in 35 years of watching football, I have never seen an offensive line this pathetic.
That's this good. Be this pathetic in terms of penalties.
No, they're not good. They're not.
They are good.
If you can't,
they're very good. They are.
No, they're not.
They
if
are.
You're giving up 40 yards of penalties every game because you can't not resist the defense barking at you. You think defensive linemen barking at an offensive line
never happened before?
Just happened. It's not. There's a movie called Program. It came out.
Not even legal. They're not supposed to do it. No one calls it, but they're not supposed to do it, and they're doing it anyway.
So
why stop?
Well, why stop if no one's calling it? But I'm sorry. You ever seen that movie? It's called The Program. It's with James Caan. It came out in 1992. In the whole movie, the defensive line is, I know it's fictional, but the idea that I played defensive line, we barked at, I'm sorry. There is nothing new. You try, this is nothing new. And the fact that they can't out-coach this or get it out of their system is pathetic. They're not a good offensive line because good offensive linemen don't jump off sides 5-6 times or false start 5-6 times a game.
Not only that, I don't see these gaping holes for these guys to run through lately. There's 6 in the box. Why the hell are you running up the middle like that? What are the chances you're going to succeed?
There's your game plan. And that's where
Dawson and
Mario. And I'm sorry, Mario's a diva. He wants to feature his offensive line. They're not getting it done, or just teams have figured you out. So get over it and start doing better. Because if you can't and you won't, then you're an idiot or you're just not competent enough, one or the other. And either way, it doesn't matter because it's not good enough. You have more talent. You have enough talent to score 30-plus points. But
let me ask you guys, do you think our offense is in rhythm in the last 5 or 6 games? Do you think that these guys are real? I think they got to do a hurry up and change the pace of the game. And don't substitute. Keep your ass on the field.
Do something.
Yeah, do something different. Speed it up a little bit. Not slow it down. We look so sluggish out there. It's terrible.
It's the same goddamn game plan, and I think these guys are demoralized because they know everyone knows what they're about to throw out.
I know Carson Beck is not too thrilled. You can see it in his face. He's upset with a lot of this stuff.
No, he's undraftable at this point. But like that, to me, now this is where we find out if this is fixable and the Mario era will yield some fruit, or if we are just fucked until he gets fired. Because
I can answer that for you. I think 2 things have to happen. One, he has to look in the mirror and address himself. He needs to make changes in what he does and how he does it. I think he needs to get an offensive coordinator who's innovative, imaginative, smarter than others, like a Brom, guys like that can figure this out during the week. He stays away from them, which he's kind of doing anyway. But I just think we need somebody who's more dynamic. That's one. I think he needs to do those two things. And I don't know, Gary may know this. Do you think he's going to get in touch with Nick and maybe Jimmy in the off season or no? I think he should.
I mean, do I think he'll talk to Nick? Do I think he'll talk to Jimmy? Yeah. Is it going to be for them to tell him what to do? Probably not. I wouldn't think. But
I don't know if they're going to tell him what to do, but they'll advise him, I think. Why not?
Mario's running a very good program. I mean, this is not a bad program. This is not like the foundation.
We don't want bad. We want to win the title. We want to be in the playoffs.
He's got to change certain things of what he's doing. No question.
It's not I'm sorry, Gary. He's not running a good program because he's in year 4, and we are not even going to make the ACC championship game. That's a failure. I'm sorry.
It is
There's
a failure.
no other way to call it. It is a failure. And even worse, every year we get worse. We have started out 5-0 3 years in a row and crumbled at the end of the season. Yeah. And that is coaching. I'm sorry. You can't come out and say that like we're beating SEC teams, we're beating Notre Dame, and then just getting our asses handed by a team that's got an injury list a mile long, with an injured quarterback. I'm sorry, that's coaching. You are getting schooled on a week-to-week basis, and
we don't see any.
You're getting out snookered by some pretty good offensive coaches. Yes.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this: if we win the next 4 games, that means we're 10-2. If we don't make the playoffs, which I don't think we will, but we get into a bowl game, we have to win it. If we wind up 11-2, that's not so bad. Since we won the state. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to play.
But let me ask you a question, Bruce, and I understand what you're saying. Do you play Carson Beck in that bowl game?
Oh, yeah, you better.
Do I play him in the bowl game?
Yeah. Or do you give Emory Williams a half and Luke Nickel a half?
No, I play to win. It's big.
You play to win.
Not getting where we want to go. We have to go 11-2 to keep these recruits. We don't want to get involved with these recruits going someplace else because we got smoked in a bowl game.
By the time you get to the bowl game, the recruits have already signed.
Well, but they could still change their minds.
Bruce,
no, they can't.
They're
not going in the portal 2 weeks after they sign.
I'm sorry. I know
by the time they sign if Beck's going to play or not. He's not going to. He's right. He's going to play. I think he's going to play.
He's going to have
to play.
He has to because that's his draft stock. I mean, that's like if we win the next 4 games, you have to assume that he's played well,
right,
down the stretch of the season.
Right. He wants to get drafted.
He's going to want to.
If he plays,
he's going to want to showcase that he's got something, so that maybe he slips into the 3rd round or like the day 3.
Whatever. As long as he makes the roster, he's going to make money.
Listen, I'm a worry word. I'm already worried about next year. Next, there's a lot of talent departing after this.
No, but Gary, that's why it's so important that we win the next 4 games, and if we don't make the playoffs, we win the bowl game. Because like, how many? I know the game means nothing in the sense of the season, but every year the fans, the players, you have that shit feeling in your stomach because we underachieved again. We finished piss poor, and we just fell apart and couldn't get it done. How about for once, God forbid, we end a season on a positive note? Look at what happened. I think it's the last bowl we've won. How pathetic is that? In 2016, when we had that momentum at the end of the year, and then we started 17 on fire. And like, it makes a difference. I know it doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, it's not what we were hoping to accomplish this year. But how, and even here's where it's even so much more crucial is if we go 5-0 to end the season, that means Mario looked in the mirror and said, not good enough. If we finish 3-2, then sorry. When's the next coach coming? Because we are losing.
Fired, so don't start. He's not getting fired. He has to make.
No, but that's all we have to look forward to because we're losing a ton.
It ain't happening. He needs to make some changes and adjustments and what's going on.
But it starts now. It doesn't start in a year. It starts now.
Right, it does start now. I agree with you, Jake. It starts now. It does, Bruce.
Starts now, right?
It doesn't start in January. It doesn't start in August.
It starts right now. No
winning.
question.
We have
We
more
need to make these
talent than
changes for
every team.
Saturday's game. I don't care if we're playing Syracuse or the Rams. I don't care. We got to do better this Saturday. We have to make some changes.
Show up.
Start now.
Win.
You got an easy opponent coming in here. You got a chance to build some momentum this Saturday and just have fun.
Yeah.
Like put up a lot of points. Create a lot of excitement in the stadium. Have fun.
There is
That's what I want
nothing
to
to lose. The pressure's off.
Let it all hang out. Have fun and just
get ready for North Carolina State because they're tough and that quarterback.
You need to score against NC State. Yes, I agree. All right, Jake. Let me let you run.
Open it up.
We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you next week. All right.
We'll see you next week.
Yep. Thanks for coming on. All right, let's go to BK Hurricane. He's been waiting so patiently. What's going on, BK? How you doing this evening?
What's up, Gary?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Bruce, what's up?
You know what's up.
Listen, Gary, real quick. How much longer can we put up with seasons ending like this? Possibly ending like this. I know they could win out.
You've put up with it for 20 years, BK. What's another one?
Well, 20 years, but now we don't. Now we have a $10 million coach.
Are you paying the bill? Are you paying the bill? Excuse me. Are you paying the bill?
I'm not paying the bill, but I'm suffering watching it. Watching the product on the field.
Don't worry about how much money he's making. How much money he's making is irrelevant.
Yeah, really I thought it was like $8 million for 10 years.
Well, $8 million, whatever it is.
A little more than $8 million at this point,
Right.
but it's irrelevant.
You know what, BK, he does have the ability. Listen, he's got, as Belichick would say, the groceries. He's got groceries. He has to make some adjustments when he's making them. He's cooking. He needs to get an offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's going to change now, but I'd like to think that Dawson's seen and heard all that. And come Saturday, he's going to make some changes. I hope he does. We need to. And defensively, let me ask you this, BK.
Saturday.
Have you seen our defensive
Make the changes on Saturday, and then we'll go in against North Carolina State and just be mediocre again. It happens every year.
Yeah.
They'll make the changes for one game, and then the next game we think they're going to be on a roll, and they do the same thing over again.
But I
think the change they need to make is just everybody's just got to relax. I mean, I think there's too much stress. Okay, like you work for 3 weeks on not committing false start penalties because of the cadence going on at the line of scrimmage. It's like you should still be doing it. Like there's something off.
It wasn't just even the false start penalties. It was just some of the guys who were holding, like Francis Mount was just and the last one was just so stupid. Like you held the guy, you throw him to the ground, and you lay on him. Like what's that about? This is supposed to be a first round draft
in
pick.
the end zone covering JoJo in the next to last play of the game. When he was tackled in the right corner of the end zone, they didn't call anything. Why is that not holding?
Hey, listen, if we're handling business, those little calls won't matter. But we don't handle business.
No, don't handle business. Hey, BK, we got some audio. We got audio issues with you, man. I don't know what.
Really? I don't know what's going on with this thing. Oh.
Yeah, we got audio issues. You're getting a lot of feedback.
How's it sound now? Does it sound better?
Yeah, that's better.
I think so. Yeah. What did you do?
Yeah, it was my phone. I know what happened. So listen, it's not looking good. We have a lot of injuries, and CJ Daniels is out. We have no veteran leadership at wide receiver right now. It's scary.
True.
That is true.
None.
Yeah, because you can't expect Marion to play that role. That's not fair. I mean,
you can't expect Marion to play the role. You can't expect the other. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's really not looking good. At least CJ Daniels will take some of the heat off of Tony.
Now they're going to double.
You gotta get creative. Get creative,
those freshmen have to perform though. Now they have to perform. CJ Daniels, you know what you're getting out of them,
and get them to perform. They can do it. I've seen them do it. I've seen every one of those kids perform on the practice field.
Josh Moore was
on the practice field.
Josh Moore was incredible. Dalen Upshaw was very consistently good. made plays every practice that I would see. Like they got guys that can make plays. Draw it up, coach them up, and get it done.
All right, real quick, Gary. You think if we go 500 the rest of the way, Dawson keeps his job?
I don't know. I don't want to do gloom and doom. Like
they can't keep spending money like this every year. It's bad enough
that I agree. You can't be firing people every year. I agree.
You can't.
That's why I don't want to go there. It's like let's finish the season strong. Okay, they screwed up. No argument.
All right, well, let's go here real quick. Just imagine how much money we're going to have to spend this year on a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to have to spend more than they just spent.
They're going to have to.
We don't know who's going to be in the portal.
They're going to have to. Gary, it doesn't matter who's in the portal. Everybody knows there's backroom deals going on. You could get somebody to come into the portal.
True.
If the money's right.
But who would you do that
I want a guy with 2 years left, not one. I'm tired of it.
Well,
exactly.
I'm Bruce on that, but who would you do that with?
I don't know the names yet. I don't know who's out there. Do you see that that Fernando kid is projected the first pick in the draft? Many sources. The first pick.
Yeah.
That's stunning that kid has turned this good, and we passed on him. Like Mario's buddies with his dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this, Gary. If I could get him for $5 million. I'll take Lenore Sellers, that kid out of South Carolina.
$5 million? I don't know about that.
That's going to be the going rate. That's the going rate.
How many years does he have left?
At some point,
he would have about 2 years left.
At some point, you got to let Luke or Emery play. I would like. I don't know if that'll be next year or not. I don't know, but
Emery's going to be gone if he's not starting next year. He's going to be gone.
Yeah, but here's the problem: he won't know. Because the portal window is in January, spring practice is until March. So Emery has a decision to make. There's no question about it. Luke doesn't. Luke will be at spring practice.
Well,
Emery has a decision to make. Do I think I can win the job?
Him.
Emery's got to figure out, can I win the job?
No.
And if the
answer is no, can you win the job?
No, then he's going to go in the portal.
Hey, Gary, if you got 4 quarterbacks on a team and you're wondering if you could win the job, one of them can win the job, but will they be a good quarterback for the team? We don't know. We've seen.
I mean, at the end of the day, they've got to go in the portal again, and
I think they are.
Like
it's a shame.
They can let them compete, but if there's not a conviction that that one of those guys is like at a Carson Becker greater level, then you got to go.
It's a shame. That's a shame.
You got to go in the portal.
All right, Gary, last question. What's going on with Kevin Wiley? Our linebacking play is just mediocre at best.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you on that. I mean, Bassain's been pretty good this year. Toure has been okay, not probably as good as they hoped. And
Toure gets beat every game with that dumb wheel route. Every game.
He's slow.
He's fast. That's the only reason why they don't score on it.
No, he's slow.
But they beat him.
If you can man him up like that with a speedy player, he's going to get beat.
Oh, my God. Our linebacking play is just horrible. Tight end play is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a disaster.
They have a kid, Luka Gilbert, that I think could be a great tight end. I mean, if Lofton's going to keep underperforming like this, I don't understand why you wouldn't put Luka Gilbert out there and give him a shot and get him.
You at least got to give him a chance. I don't think it could be any worse.
Maybe they're going to wait so that to get to the end of the year so he could still get his red shirt. I'm not sure.
All right, the 4 games. Yeah, you're right. But we got to win though.
I'm not sure how many he's appeared in yet. I'd have to research that. But
I think he appeared in 1.
Yeah, I think 1. Yeah, he's going to be a good player. So I don't know. Maybe
he appeared in 1. But we got to win that bowl game, Gary. Last thing, we got to win that bowl game. We got to.
Yeah, that's what you guys are telling me. I'm not opposed to winning it, but I kind of want to see some younger players before this year's out. So
it's a must win. We got to win that bowl game. Got to win it.
I mean, why not? Why can't we see Wiley this year, for example? Why? Like, why not? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see some of these younger players and see what they've got.
Where's Nye Carr, for Christ's sake?
He's not good enough.
He's on the bench. I thought this kid was going to be special. They kept on
him
saying
and Ray will be
great moves.
Him and Ray will be in the portal for sure.
Yeah,
and so will Lofton.
He might, the way this is going. I don't know.
He might.
It's not looking good for this kid.
He's a good football player, man. He'll help somebody.
Yeah, SMU.
Yeah, I know. Or Vegas, or UNLV.
They're all going to SMU, Gary. Every single one of them. Ray,
for Dan Mullen in Vegas.
They're all going to SMU. Miami Junior.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Okay, we'll see you next time, man. Thanks for coming on the show. All right,
Gary, you're talking about 15 different topics. That's the problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
You can point your finger at the dam and it's breaking here, and you plug it up, and over there you plug it up. But it's everywhere. It's not just
Pinellas Kane's kind of onto something, and I agree with him. Like, you don't have to fire Shannon Dawson. Just help him get better, okay? And get him with. I mean, Ken Dorsey was a coordinator in the NFL for years. Why can't he sit down with Ken Dorsey for a weekend and talk offense, go through things? I mean, Mark Trestman, a guy that coached offense for 30 years at all different levels, I know has been begging to help the program out. He's never been asked. I mean, there are places to go turn to make this offense better for Shannon Dawson and figure out, what he can do to get a little bit more explosiveness. You shouldn't have to have Cam Ward to be explosive. I mean, this Mendoza kid walks into Indiana and he's the top quarterback in the country. I mean, explain that. You don't have to have Cam Ward, but you do have to coach well, and you do have to have a good scheme.
But I don't think it's all Beck's fault, Gary. Do you?
No, it's not. But I think he had a really bad Louisville game. They lost, and I think that kind of spooked Shannon Dawson a little bit.
There goes to your scared theory that they're just playing not to lose. They're afraid to try something because what's going to happen? They're going to get yelled at by who? Mario? Could be.
And you don't score enough points, man. It's like you got to score. You got to be able to score. I keep using Duke as an example. I mean, freaking Duke, they spent several million on their quarterback. Well, they used them the other day, man. They went to Clemson. They had to score 45 points to win.
There's no reason why we can't score 45 points, but we can't. What happened? You got muted.
So I got so animated about this that I got muted for a moment. Stop telling me I'm making excuses for Mario. Okay? Nobody's making excuses. Mario is not making excuses. Nobody wants to make excuses. Okay? We're trying to figure out what the hell is going on out there. Okay? Because you got a good football team that has lost 5 games of their last 12 times walking on the field. Okay?
What did they say? 6 times when they're 10-point favorites.
Yeah,
they're not losing. Good either.
They're double-digit favorites and they're losing. So we're trying to figure out what the hell is going on and what is happening that is causing them to lose and come up short. And it's not about making excuses for anybody, okay? Mario's the head coach. He's going to remain the head coach. He's got to figure this damn thing out, okay? And if we can help along the way a little bit on this show where we have a lot of freaking great minds that come together on Tuesday nights, we're going to do our part to try to help. That's all it is, man. Nobody's making excuses for anybody. Yeah, I said for many, many years, Mario is the guy that could come in here and turn this program around. I'm looking at a program that's being run better than it has in decades. Right. I'm looking at a program
since Bush
that has inspired the university to support it at a level that nobody in the wildest dreams could have ever imagined. A president like what they have and a board of trustees that are now supporting football and athletics, really, because they got a $12 million basketball roster too. Didn't quite look like a $12 million roster last night, but they looked okay. They gutted it out and they won their game, and they'll get better. It's first time playing together, but you have an athletic program that is being supported by the university at levels that nobody imagined ever would exist. And there's one guy that's responsible for that, okay? And his name's not Manny Diaz, okay? Manny Diaz would not have inspired this, okay? So I get it. Everyone likes, you come at me, I don't care. Yeah, I pounded the table. Mario is the guy that could come in and do this, okay? And he has done a lot of what I expected. He's making some mistakes, in my opinion. I think he the Miami football, it's not the damn Kremlin, okay? Like I think everybody just needs to take a deep breath and relax a little bit. I see a lot of players look very uptight out on the field. They don't look like they're having fun.
They're not.
They don't look like they are. Coaches look very tight. I think listen, this season is like Matt said, there's 10% chance you're making the playoff. It doesn't look really good. This season has been fried. Another one has been fried. Okay. Everybody just needs to take a deep breath. You don't need to fire everybody. They need to figure out what they got to do to get better. That's what it's all about. I hope Mario will not be stubborn in that regard, that there will be a lot of introspection and he will get help that I think they need. I've been yelling for 3 years. You got to have a guy up in the booth on game day on that headset with Shannon Dawson that knows their crap. Okay?
Or get him upstairs because you could see the field way better than being on the side.
Or vice versa. Right. Give him the support that he needs to take this thing to the next level. Okay?
Assuming he's capable of it, and I don't know the answer to that. I haven't seen many adjustments, and I have a hard time believing Mario's just putting hey, look, this is all you can do, and that's it. Do what you can.
Bruce, the right guy will help him make the adjustments.
I hope so.
Look, whatever you got to do, man, get some more expertise in that regard that will help on game day. Get you through these games where you're going against some pretty damn good coaches. I mean, I don't disrespect everybody we go against. Like I know Rhett Lashley's a pretty damn good offensive coordinator, and he's willing to frickin' roll it out there, man. He threw the ball the other day. They had, let's see, SMU. They had 70 plays. Okay. He threw the ball 45 times.
Yeah.
Okay. They had no running game. They didn't gain a run. They didn't have a rushing yard in regulation. All their rushing yards came in overtime. They were throwing the ball almost every down. I mean, he just rolled out his playbook and he let it rip, man. And I love it. Why do you have to be 50-50 run pass?
Right.
Who says? According to who? Why is that the only formula to win a football game? Get outside the
I want to ask you this, though. The DBs, I don't think they're playing so well. I have seen a lot of guys make spectacular catches. I have not seen that many balls batted away in the last second. And I've seen a lot of our defensive guys where they're back to the quarterback and the receiver sees the ball and they don't. That happened a lot in the last few games. That's a little frightening because I thought they were going to be significantly better, especially with the pass rush. But they're getting rid of the ball quickly. And when they are throwing the ball down the field, we're not in the quarterback's face. This kid the other day played all on guts, and he did a hell of a job. I just didn't think they would ever get the ball out of his hand. Thought he was going to get creamed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were very stressed the other day by the SMU offense. I think Lashley threw a lot of stuff at them, and they looked confused at times, and they were very stressed the other day. I think that
Bromley made him look silly in the Louisville game. They looked pretty bad.
Yeah, I thought SMU was worse than Louisville.
Right,
right.
We caught up to Louisville.
I mean, nobody expects the opponent to be throwing almost every play.
Right.
They
had their yards 1.5 yards per carry they had.
Yeah. So, the point I'm making as we conclude here for this night is you don't have to go fire everybody. They help them get better. Okay. And that's the job of the head coach. And Mario, I think Mario can be good at that. He has been in the past. He knows where to go get help. And, I want to see Shannon Dawson come back next year. At a whole other level. Okay. And
he's going to have a new quarterback more than likely.
Yes, definitely.
Just hopefully this guy's a little bit more of a dual threat. Yeah. Well, listen, I don't care who coaches, who does this. I want to win. Now, I think we're going to win Saturday. We're probably going to win big. But here's my question. Are we going to win playing the same damn way, but we're better than them, so we beat them? Or are we going to make some changes and beat them, which to me is what I really want to see.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I totally agree. I'd be working hard on the passing game this week.
Yep.
I really would. So we'll see what happens. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching tonight's show. I want to thank Matt Shodell for helping me out the first hour. Bruce for coming in here in hour number 2. Thank all of our guests for coming on the show tonight. Program note: tomorrow night, 8:00, the Lamar Thomas Show. I believe we are going to have Brett Romberg on with us tomorrow night, who's always he's phenomenal, and he won't pull any punches, I'll tell you that. So join us tomorrow night at 8 for the Lamar Thomas Show. For Matt and Bruce, I'm Gary. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next time, everybody.
Just win, baby. Just win.
Just win.
Just win.